Brandon Caldwell. You've been involved in the markets up in Canada for quite some time. You're involved in a very interesting nickel project in Indonesia right now. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on over there?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Indonesia, it is one of those battlegrounds for one of the major critical minerals, which is, of course, nickel. And as of to this point, we are currently the only revenue generating producer and licensed nickel trader in all of North America that has made and gained access into Indonesia's market. So over the last 10 years, I spent a lot of time working with dozens of various different exploration mining companies and really learning what investors are looking to see, what investors do not want to see, but more importantly, what are the things that we need as a society and do we currently have it? Nickel is so dominantly controlled by Indonesia and their wealth of their laterite system, but also controlled by China, where they have funded a lot of the refineries that were there. So our goal is to first give investors access to the abundance of nickel in the country, but then also continue to build relationships where we're not only becoming a producer and a trader, but we are looking to also become land acquirers. So we have decades worth of production, but also starting to look at the possibility of making those relationships on the refining side so that one day we can be North America's only access to a completely non-FEOC supply chain of nickel coming back to the West.
All right. So what's the name of your company?
Nusa Nickel Corp.
How'd you come up with that name?
So Nusa means island in Indonesia, and it is the island of nickel. So hence we went with Nusa Nickel Corp. So I wanted to make sure we not only blended a little bit of the Indonesian culture in it, but also came up with something that was very unique, just like our company is as well.
No, I love the origin stories. I love how you got over there. I mean, what first tipped you off that Indonesia was a great target?
So if you asked me that same question 2.5 years ago, I wouldn't have an answer for you. I had been looking so much into all these critical minerals, but we in North America always think of hard rock nickel because Canada is so abundant of it. That's just what we've been doing for decades. I ran into who's now the president and COO of our company. I'd known him for a few years. His name's Robert Chandra. He's born and raised in Indonesia. He spent the first 45, 50 years of his life there. He worked with BP Petroleum, and then he did his hard rock geology degree at the University of Toronto. He's now been living in Canada since 2007 with his family. I bumped into him at a PDAC, which is the world's largest mining investment, basically a conference that every single March. If you haven't gone, I highly recommend checking it out because you'll have over 30,000 people from countries all over the world all talking about where's the next step, what should we be looking at. I bumped into him and said, hey, I've got this opportunity where I can go into production in a very short amount of time, become revenue generating within 12 to 18 months, which is unheard of in the exploration world. Usually that'll take you at least 3 to 5 years to even get to a point where you're building the actual refinery, you're building the actual mine. And he said he can do it on a very small budget. So I spent about 4 weeks going to all the geologists I spoke with, all the various different executives that I've known over the years, and I tried to kill the deal. One after the other just kept saying, I think you're actually onto something. I could not kill that deal. So in April of 2024, we decided to create the company. We raised $1.1 million. We went into Indonesia. Within the first 15 months, we went from a company idea into production and into revenue generation for our first shipment of $340,000 of nickel ore. So it was a fantastic journey thus far. We're still a private company. We just did our last raise before going public. Our go public raise will be in January, so that'll be the actual listing raise. And then we'll be listing on the TSX Venture. So very, very excited about the road ahead.